Hi, welcome to our group presentations about global fertility rate issues. So as you all know, this topic has been talked for many years and worried several countries and government as low fertility recorded among women. So in this research, we will dig more about this discussion and findings about why this issue occurred in countries and women.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Shmirif and I want to show about the introduction. For the introduction, the global fertility rate defined as the average number of children born to women over their lifetime. It is a critical measure for assessing population growth and demographic trends. Over recent decades, fertility rates have undergone dramatic shifts, shaping political, social and economic systems worldwide. In developed nations, fertility rate was fallen below the replacement level of 2.1 children per woman, that raising a concern about children aging population. And for the dynamic of fertility rate are complex and multifaceted, reflecting economy, culture, political and environmental influence. This demographic shift impact global migration, government policy, economic growth and the well-being of future generations. Okay, for the next, I want to show this. Okay, for the problem statement is that the global fertility rate shows stark disparity, with developed countries facing aging population and economic stress due to low fertility, while the many developing nations struggle with resources pressure like inequality from high fertility rates. In developed nations like Japan and Europe, low fertility threatened workforce sustainability and social welfare system. In contrast, high fertility rate in regions like Sub-Saharan Africa exacerbate poverty, environmental challenges and limited opportunity for women.
Before we go through our research questions, let's go through the past year's studies and research that have been done about this fertility topic. First of all, research done by Berman and Gonellan Pons about women employment and fertility in a global perspective, where there is a high correlation between women and employment, also fertility, on a global scale between 1916 to 2015, including the wages paid by the employer, whereby the Next, Bloom researched the fertility in high-income countries, trends, pattern, determinants, and consequences. There is a negative fertility rate in high-income countries such as the United States, Australia, and also New Zealand, led to economic consequences such as population aging, population decline, and shrinking workforce. Why shrinking workforce happened? Because there is no upcoming generation as low fertility recorded. Lastly, the paradox of change, religion, and culture decline in South Korea. By UN Accusation about the religion and fertility patterns, also culture shift in South Korea, which is the current society changed the era of near replacement fertility, where the woman supposed to have only 2 children, but they changed it as it hit the lowest fertility rates and demand the woman to have more than 2 children in the future. This concludes religion like Buddhists, Catholics, and Protestants.
Hi everyone, my name is Tunku Anya Syafika binti Tunku Sulaiman, and I will continue the presentation by discussing how lifestyle choices, environmental factors, and stress management impacts fertility. So, as you can see over here, the main goals of the study were to understand how factors like diet, stress, and drug use affect the fertility, to look at how exposure to pollutants and chemicals influence reproductive health, and explore how stress reduction can improve fertility, especially during treatments like IVF. Alright, now let's move on to the next slide and take a look on our findings and discussion that we gather for research question 1, which is how do lifestyle choices influence fertility issues worldwide. So, based on our findings, we can conclude that Lifestyle choices such as sleep, exercise, and diet significantly influence fertility. Apart from that, negative habits like smoking and heavy drinking can also reduce fertility. So to avoid that from happening, practicing positive habits such as eating healthy foods like olive oil can help improve fertility. Onto the environment side, exposure to endocrine disrupting chemicals, EDCs, like plastic, pesticides, and heavy metals can also disrupt hormones and harm fertility. For example, one of the effects is PCOS. Next, stress management is also important. As we all know, stress raises cortisol levels, which can interfere with reproduction. Therefore, among the initiatives we can take to help restore hormonal balance and improve fertility outcome is to engage in practice such as yoga and meditation. Now, let's take a look on discussion. So, to conclude from an epistemological perspective, fertility is shaped by more than just age. Our lifestyle choices and the environment we live in play significant roles in our reproductive health. So it is crucial that we raise public awareness about the harmful effects of pollution and chemicals, as this can disrupt fertility in both men and women. Furthermore, simple practices like mindfulness and yoga have been shown to help improve fertility outcomes by reducing stress and restoring balance to our hormones. So due to that, by combining scientific knowledge with real-life actions, we can take a more balanced approach to supporting reproductive health. So that's all from me. Next, I will pass to Nisha to continue the next part of our slides. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Anisha binti Zainuddin. Today, I will take you through an important topic, which is how stress and mental health affect fertility and fertility treatments. Let's dive in. Here, we want to explore three main ideas. First, we want to understand how stress affects fertility in both men and women. Second, we'll look at how stress and mental health problems impact treatments like IVF. Finally, we'll study how reducing stress can help people improve their chances of getting pregnant. So now let's move on to the findings. So for the first point is hormonal problems, which stress increases cortisol, which disrupts hormones like estrogen and progesterone. This can make cycles irregular and lower fertility. Next is impact on treatments. Stress can reduce the success of treatments like IVF because it affects the body's hormones and immune system. Next is age and access challenges. In some places, there are age limits for IVF, which can add stress for older women and so on. So, for the last one is stress during treatments. High stress during IVF cycles lowers the chances of implantations and pregnancy. So, the next one is discussion. The first one is fertility and ethics. Fertility impacts big decisions in life, social, economics, and personal. Ethics also plays a big role in treatments. Coming down below is mental health support. Infertility often causes sadness and stress. Mental health care should always be part of the process. The last one is cultural pressure. In some cultures, infertility can bring a lot of pressure, especially for women. This can make mental health challenges even harder. So to conclude all that, stress and mental health have a big impact on fertility. By reducing stress and providing better support, we can help improve fertility and make treatments like IVF more successful. Thank you for listening. So I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dania Sofrina binti Miss Maisha. Now I will be presenting the answer to the question 3, how to inspire young adults to consider having children in the future. To address this question, we begin with the objective. The first objective is to evaluate how effective government support can be in encouraging family formation. The second objective focuses on building community support on a global scale, emphasizing the importance of improving family planning and reproductive health. Lastly, the third objective aims to measure the impact of healthcare training providers on the quality of family planning counseling and services offered to young adults. Moving on to the findings, the research identifies 3 key points. First, government support helps to reduce the economic pressure of raising children by offering incentives that make parenthood more accessible and manageable. Next, local community groups and parenting networks provide valuable support and encouragement, which create more supportive and understanding environment. Finally, healthcare professionals provide counseling on how to manage stress so that young adults feel confident and prepared for this life transition. In the discussion, we see how these findings connect key areas of philosophy. First, financial stability influences decisions about starting a family, aligning with economic philosophy, which examines how policies impact personal and societal choices. And then, community support shapes cultural values and norms about raising a family, reflecting social philosophy's focus on shared responsibilities and societal well-being. Lastly, healthcare counseling highlights ethical principles which emphasize the duty of care to provide emotional support and guidance to those facing the challenges of parenthood. That's all for me. Thank you. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shazandia Shamsul. I will presenting about business question number 4. What is the relationship between women's educational attainment and fertility rates across various cultural contexts? For objective business question number 4, this analysis aims to examine the relationship between women's education and fertility across various contexts. It will focus on how cultural and societal influences shape education's impact on fertility decisions. Additionally, the analysis will explore factors such as access to reproductive health, economic opportunity, and societal attitude, all of which connect education to fertility patterns. By understanding these influences, we can gain deeper insight into the broader implication of education on fertility. Okay, for the next slide, I will be presenting about finding and discussion. Okay, for the findings show that higher education in women significantly reduces fertility rates. Cultural norms play a role, with traditional societies favoring larger families, while urbanist societies lean toward smaller ones. Education delays childbirth, increases contraceptive use, and empower women to make informed decisions. For discussion, it's clear that women education influences population policies, stability, and growth. Supportive policies that provide access to education and family planning contribute to low fertility rates. In developed nations, declining birth rate addresses through education and childbirth incentive. Ultimately, education policies are crucial for national development. Okay, that's all for me.
Okay, last but not least, are the conclusion. For the conclusions is that the global fertility rate present a number of problems why developing countries struggle with high fertility, poverty and poor healthcare and in gender inequality. Rich countries deal with fertility, aging population and a lack of worker. Personalized solutions are crucial for fertility rates and can be addressed with a family-friendly measure including children, paid time off and financial incentive, enhancing women's environment. Access to family planning and reproductive healthcare are essential for high fertility rate in order to manage demographic trends and ensure sustainable for fair growth and on global scale. And the next is a comprehensive plan that supports gender equality, healthcare and education are essential as a localized policy and international cooperation. That's all for me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.